Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. Here on a Friday, we have some breaking news, and I was debating on how much exaggeration and sensationalizing, arm waving, and all the sorts that we see out of the left and the Democrats when it comes to these sorts of interactions. And we could call this an insurrection. Here we have Maxine Waters, or Maximum Water, as I like to call her, outside of the Department of Education, and she is going into the typical exaggeration, sensationalizing, flag waving, other than the American flag waving going on here. And let's take a look at it. And then, of course, we can reinterpret it ourselves, right? I mean, the Democrats have the luxury and capability to interpret things the way they want to see things, especially as we saw with the activity at the Capitol on January the 6th. Is this 𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐳𝐽 again? All right, let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen. I have two different videos of this, but we're going to get into this. It's kind of a relaxed Friday, but this is just something that I just found extraordinary.
Not only are they not letting us in, now they've called the Department of Homeland Security. We are members of Congress here to talk with the Department of Education, and they're treating us...
The kids deserve to have us go in and fight for them.
This is appalling.
Children of this country deserve that battle.
This is a public institution. This is not Russia.
Let the camera see him. Let the camera see him.
Who is he?
This
A
man
private
here.
contractor.
We are members of Congress.
Come in.
They're
and
blocking
I want you
us.
to see this man here.
See this man here? She's doxing him. She's doxing this man. She's pointing him out. She's creating a situation to incite the left. Now, the left doesn't need this level of incitement. They're already melting down and losing their minds over Elon Musk. But what she's doing here, and without the exaggeration and sensationalizing of my own bias, she is doxing this individual right here, because she is going to describe saying that she's seen his ID, he should show his ID again. And, of course, they're sensationalizing with their language here. We're doing this for the children, of course. It's always they're trying to do something for someone. And believe it or not, this may come as a shock to Democrats, but minorities are able to think for themselves. Yeah, they don't need Democrats to help them to get jobs and educations and provide for themselves and provide for their families. Yeah, minorities, whether they be blacks or Latinos or any other nationality or race, they don't need the Democrats here. And this is why they're losing their minds, because they're losing control. The control that they had to be able to do what they want, the way they want to, and to construct the world the way they want everyone to live in it, and that's in their world.
Who is a federal employee, he told us.
No, he's not.
Are you a federal employee?
No.
Huh?
Yes.
No, he said he's a federal employee. We pay him. We raise money to make sure that we have a Department of Education. Everybody that's hired at the Department of
Taxpayers pay, Maxine. Now, if you want to pay with your own money, I'm not going to stop you. I mean, the Democrats raised $1.6 billion and wasted it, and now they're $20 million in debt. But Maxine, any amount of money, no one's going to stop you, Maxine, from using your own money to provide whatever you think a school needs. I mean, no one's going to stop you. And I'm not trying to mock education at all. I think children should be able to get an education. But why is it that we spend so much money on education, yet we rank almost last in education in our country, which is what Donald Trump was talking about today when he was speaking with the Prime Minister from Japan?
Education are here because we pay for them to be here. He's standing here today blocking the door, and he can't give us a good reason why he's blocking this door.
Make sure they see right here. All access entrance.
Well, and I think it should be clear.
Can you guys read that? All access entrance. That means at any time, anyone can just go in there and do whatever they want to do, unless it's the Capitol, which is the people's house. So they need to put a big sign on the Capitol. They need to put signs all around the Capitol that say the people's house, right? That's what they need to put around the Capitol. They need to put big, giant signs, all access to the people's house.
Parents in the United States, if you want to advocate on behalf of your children, you are not allowed to come into this.
Okay, see, that's all performative. This is all performative. This is what the Democrats do. Now, this is a continuation of it, but here I want everyone to pay close attention to the level of exaggeration and sensationalizing and arm waving and hysteria from Maximum Water.
Look them in the eye. Come on, hold your face up. Look at him. Let him see you. This is him. Look at it. What's your name? Tell us your name.
See, look at this. This is bullying at the level of bullying that is described almost in textbook description by Democrats. Remember the Democrats who spent all their time, of course, espousing and looking after and taking care of certain groups of Americans and not all Americans. Now, again, I want to emphasize here that I don't think anyone should be ostracized and alienated and criticized, or that there should be racism and disparaged, but they focus mainly on small groups of Americans and not all of Americans. And here she is antagonizing and bullying this individual, which is exactly what they say they fight for. It's absolutely extraordinary. They're doxing him, right? The left doesn't need this level of inciting because we've already seen 2 attempts on Donald Trump's life, which they could not associate with their rhetoric. And, of course, what happened with Stephen Scalise, also based upon a lot of their rhetoric. But they never hold themselves accountable, ladies and gentlemen, because the Democrats never hold themselves to the same standards that they expect from everyone else. They have their set of rules, and then there's rules for everyone else. And when they're in power, it's their rules or else.
Give me that ID again.
Giving you the ID. I showed it to you.
So what?
I showed you the ID.
You do what?
I showed you the ID.
Could you let me see the ID again?
This is absolute absurdity. This is absolute absurdity here. Now, I don't think that anyone's life is in danger in this particular scenario, but her behavior is just reprehensible. It's just straight up reprehensible.
Huh?
No.
No? Will someone else ask him for the ID? Will you ask him for it? He won't let me see it again. You did.
Okay, now this is sensationalizing here and purely performative. Anybody, can someone do this? Can someone do that? Look at what everyone's saying. Look at what, read the room. Read the room. This is another thing I hear from the left all the time sometimes when I'm talking about things. Can't you just read the room? Can't you just, well, dude, I can say whatever I want to say within the room. I don't need your permission. I don't need your permission. I don't need your authority. In this situation here, she is engaged in pure performative activity for the cameras to basically to pander to her base. And this is what they're doing. This is what the left is doing. They do one thing on camera, and then they do another thing behind closed doors, as I've demonstrated here several times when they went to U.S. aid. You know, they get everybody all worked up in the crowd. They get their signs going, and they get the flag waving, and they get all this going on. And then they tried to get inside, and they were denied access. They went in there, and they were all exercised restraint and decorum and all this. While they were outside, they were just losing their minds. But when they're confronted with the reality of the situation, you know, they kind of back down. Now, here's Maxine Waters not necessarily backing down, but sensationalizing, exaggerating, and just arm waving.
I didn't see it. They didn't see it. I looked them in the eye. Come on, hold your face up. Look at them. Let them see you.
Yeah, so obviously, you can see what's going on here. But the left is absolutely losing their minds. And we'll take a little listen to this from Fox News.
His team, Musk's team, have saved the federal government more than $1 billion a day through efforts like cancellation of federal building leases, contracts related to DEI. And although they have some other specifics, he's got his team of engineers that have helped balance budgets in his other companies working right now. They're looking at absolutely everything. Musk is also studying the works of the GSA, which manages federal properties. Officials discussed a plan to eliminate 50% of expenditures. Why do Democrats feel as though, I know there's some that's always going to fight them, but why do they feel as though they were on board with DOGE in theory until they actually started doing things? That's right. Then they all jumped off the bandwagon and started rallying around that fearless leader, Maxine Waters.
All Elon wants to do is cut our spending. You work really hard, right? Wouldn't you rather that money stay in the United States? There's a lot of foreign aid going for just junk. Like
and of course, they have to mock anyone who doesn't agree with them. You have to understand how the Democrats operate, right, when it comes to, say, like firearms and things like that. If it's not them, if you're not them, you're not allowed to do things because they don't trust you. They don't know who you are, because if you don't agree with them, then obviously something's wrong with you, and you obviously shouldn't have a firearm, and you shouldn't be voting, much less making decisions on how to conduct your life or your family, because if the Democrats can't tell you how to do that, then what opinions should you have? How do you know what opinions to have? How do you know what to think if it's not for Democrats? And these young guys are who, a lot of them are going after these young men in their 20s, and this young man right here, these are all geniuses. These are guys that are absolutely top-notch, the top of their class, the top of all that they do. This guy is, he won a $700,000 prize last year for helping decipher the Greek words on a volcanically charred 2,000-year-old scroll, which identified by Wired magazine on Sunday as one of the 6 young computer whizzes working with the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. That group, created by President Donald Trump, is led by Musk, the world's richest man. They always say that. How many times this week have we talked about Elon Musk, and the media always qualifies it by saying the world's richest man or billionaire Elon? And they always have to throw that in there as a pejorative, as though they never say that with George Soros. Of course, they never say that, and of course they never talk about the billionaires and millionaires that contribute to the Democrat Party. You know, the ones that were able to raise $1.6 billion, because that certainly didn't come from the middle class. That didn't come from the middle class and the constituents that they go out to see when it's time for an election, right? The people that they go out and see. You know who I'm talking about, without having to go into specific detail. But anyway, suffice it to say, the meltdown continues among Democrats, and we're not even halfway through. We're just tipping the iceberg when it comes to what Donald Trump has Doge doing there. And yeah, they're having a total and complete meltdown. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a moment out of your Friday here and share this with you, because this was just something I wasn't going to just put in a little tiny clip. This is something that required levels of commentary, because we've seen the threats on Donald Trump. We saw what happened with Stephen Scalise. And this sort of inciting just makes their base even worse, because we've already seen what happened. Of course, if you were around during the George Floyd riots and the continuations of the rioting and protesting and the things that these people are willing to do, because they're not afraid. They weren't afraid at one time when the establishment uniparty was in control. They weren't afraid to go out and create mischief and riot, because, of course, DAs and local authorities and even the administration and the establishment wasn't going to prosecute any of these people. But the times have changed. It is a different atmosphere. It's a different situation now. And we even saw that from Tom Homan, these people that are going out screaming at ICE, recording ICE arresting people. And he's gonna arrest these people and charge them for interference. You know, they have to understand these people are losing their minds because they were given their way. The spoiled children were given their way. They were able to do the things they wanted to do. A lot of that was, of course, hijacking our country, hijacking our culture, our institutions, and our justice system. And now we see them fomenting their own unrest and their own insurrections. But I welcome your comments and thoughts down below. How extraordinary is this? We're on, day 18 of Donald Trump's becoming president? We're on day 18, I believe it is. And this is where they are. And this is going to continue. It's absolutely extraordinary. But I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, as well as everyone here on YouTube, for your guys' continued support. And, of course, below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to. So avail yourselves to that. And, of course, affiliate marketing links down there. So if you're a Prime member on Amazon or order frequently from Amazon, my landing page link is here. It helps out the channel. Your privacy is protected. And speaking of privacy, if you want to search and do things online, I use TrustZone, a virtual private network, a VPN, which I find awesome. It also helps with discount rates if you log into a city that you may want to travel to, or other things, or watch your favorite television programs in other countries or in other cities that may not offer it here, or on your scheduling or in your area. So lots of advantages to having a VPN. But nonetheless, guys, appearing there on the screen for all of you watching on the YouTubes, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That we know is content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.